keep that running the whole time until we're ready.
Perfect.
And
oh God.
Oh,
I look like I've been doing meth for 12 years.
I can touch it up later. Hey, what's going on, everybody? We're back for what were we calling this shit? The fucking Claim Jumper podcast, or
I don't even remember.
Name coming soon.
That's the podcast.
Name coming soon. We might as well do it that way. We're here. We're gonna be playing our fucking Nintendo Switch, and we're gonna be telling stories and shit, man. While we're on our 30-minute lunch break. So, in the last episode, we left off. You asked me if I had ever formed a cult, and I was like,
Yu-Gi-Oh,
yeah. And I had
Yu-Gi-Oh.
formed. I've actually had the honor of being part of 2 Yu-Gi-Oh cults in my lifetime, and fucking this is my shitty ass team right here. By the way, I run a Meowth for my Pokemon and my Butterfree for Pokemon Sword and Shield.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, because I'm like, dog, I'm gonna embarrass motherfuckers. But I don't know. Have you played before?
I played, yeah.
Oh, okay. I was gonna ask if you wanted
Sword.
to fucking wander around and everything.
I haven't played Shield. I've only played
But yeah, so the story begins with my good friend Goner. I will save his personal name for. Oh, he doesn't give a fuck, but I'm gonna just call him Goner because that's what you guys are used to now. So, a long time ago, how much of the anime did you watch, or did you not really watch any of it?
Of what?
Of the Yu-Gi-Oh anime?
Not too much.
Okay.
I get the general idea of what it is.
Yeah.
And like their names and shit.
Yeah.
But I haven't watched.
Well, there is a filler season where that is very, very well known, where everybody, the big enemy is a dude who lives in Atlantis, and he's trying to rise the Great Leviathan to, dominate the gods and make the world his or whatever the fuck. And the way that you become a member, like one of his grunts and whatnot, is he had a spell card which was basically the magic that he was using. It was called the Seal of Orichalcos and everything. It was super fucking broken, and just with its most basic effect, it's like, okay, all your monsters get 500. And you're like, that's no fucking big deal.
Yeah.
Until you realize, hey, now all of our deck of mediocre 1400s are 1900, and that is stacked as shit because nothing can get over that. So you become a powerhouse really fucking quick with just that one effect, let alone the 20 other effects it had in the anime.
That's the miracle right there.
Yeah. So you have all these monsters with badass effects but shitty points. Boom.
Now they're fucking
And people would always somehow draw it on their first fucking turn of the duel. So
of course.
Yeah. So, but it was
device.
broken, so they never made it.
Okay.
Fast forward to, because that came out probably 2004.
Okay.
And fast forward to, I want to say 2012, 13. They make a set where they reprint a bunch of Yugi's most loved cards, as well as cards from all these famous people that he dueled. And what was special about this is you get the box with only 3 packs in it, but it came with the promotional pack, which had 5 guaranteed cards. And they printed the fucking Seal of Orichalcos. They made it much less broken.
Okay.
But everyone was like, dude, it's fucking here. It's actually a thing now, right? And my friend got one. There's a man we know named Paco who runs his own hobby shop.
Oh,
and since he has
Yu-Gi-Oh?
since he has to buy these things in bulk, with certain products, if he buys a shit ton of them, he can take some of the pulls that he gets himself, or some of the the promo packs, and he can sell them individually. And Jesus Christ, they're having me do a fucking quiz while I'm trying to tell my story. So he would sell the cards individually. So he had the Seal of Orichalcos chilling in his shop, and because it was a promo pack, a guaranteed card, it was not only very, very cheap, but he had a fuck ton of them.
Oh, really?
So he had, from every box that him and his daughter would open personally to see what rare cards they pull so that they could resell, he would have a whole fucking pile of the Seals of Orichalcos for 25 cents, since it's an easy guaranteed card.
Yeah.
So in comes Goner with his $5.
He's about to buy out the whole fucking store.
Yeah. And so what he does is, Goner then begins wearing hoodies to school.
Oh God.
Dressing
no.
as shady as possible. And he's like, hey,
It's literally a cult.
I see you guys are playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Let's be friends. And as a symbol of our friendship, add this to your deck. And they're like, what the fuck is this? Because they didn't watch the show. They're like, what is this? And he's like, just a gift. And they're like, dude, this shit is broken. Are you sure? He's like, yeah, take it. We're friends now. And
he
so
just bought their loyalty.
yeah,
on
and
the
so
card.
okay, and then fast forward some more, right? Fast forward about a month. I had no idea this shit was going on, because I didn't go to his high school. We split ways after middle school, and he's introducing me to a bunch of people from his school, and he's like, "Hey man, all these people play Yu-Gi-Oh! And they have some really great decks." And I was like, "Oh, this is the dude you were telling me about, and I think you mentioned this guy before too. This is gonna be fucking cool." So we're dueling, and I'm like, "Wow, this is such a fucking challenge, but I'm really into this. It's really back and forth." And he's like, "Cool, I drew the card I needed." I was like, "Awesome, let's see it." He's like, "I play the Seal of Orichalcos," and I was like, "Wait, what? You do what?" and so he just runs over everything that I fucking have, and nothing I'm doing is fucking working. I am shafted, and I was like, "Where did you get that fucking card?"
Cents.
And then I'm like, wait a minute, and I see Goner in the corner with his hoodie on, even though it's 80 degrees outside, and he has the darkest smirk on his fucking face, and I was like, "You son of a bitch." And it was funny because when we met up that day, I met with him at the park before anybody else showed up.
Okay.
And he was chilling on the side of the hill, posted up against a tree, one leg up, hoodie on. He has the drug dealer backpack.
This dude's like just the cult leader all the way. Like,
He is. Now, I ended up eventually, it took a lot of fucking work, but I ended up still schooling every single person that he brought my way.
Okay.
And so then here comes Goner. And I was like, this is fine. I know your deck now. I know that the field spell, it has one big downside, and that downside doesn't affect the other people's decks, but it affects his specifically.
Okay.
It makes him basically completely unable to pull off his combos.
Okay. So it doesn't. All right.
Yeah. It counters his own playstyle. So I'm like, this is gonna be an easy fucking match. He's like, oh, that's what you think. I have a new deck. And his deck, it's fucking awful, and it's not really meant to win per se, but it locks down every other person you play against.
Really?
It doesn't matter what they play, it locks you down.
Okay.
And it
so
uses
like,
really cheesy effects to whittle down your fucking life while you're unable to bring out your good monsters. By filling up your field with shitty monsters.
That's an asshole move right there.
It feels it's called a Dustin deck for those who fucking, actually play the game, and it fills up your field with the lowest attack monsters in his deck, and their effects all say, hey, you can't use me for this, or this.
Oh shit! So basically,
they're
it puts
fucking
you in the corner.
Yeah.
Wow.
and then by having a bunch of them on the field, he has one copy of one Dustin that's like, hey, for every Dustin on everyone's field, give me 1,000 fucking points, and you only have 8,000 points.
Jesus.
So he fills up the field with nine of those motherfuckers, forces one of them into attack, and then that's game. I can't do anything.
He's like, I don't know why. It just reminds me of like the anime guy. He's all, oh, you're like, how you're finally defeated, and he's all.
Wait, I got the glass.
Yeah.
Oh man, but that's literally how it went. And so, fast forwarding, because I was always too broke to afford cards of my own, right? So the cards that I was playing with at the time of this were a collection of cards that people have given me throughout the years, because all the cards I had bought myself and all the cards that my mom had bought for me had been stolen during our middle school years. So I lost 100 fucking cards.
Damn.
And so I was about to give up until I was like, wait, I found enough to make a fucking deck, and I called it my little fucking friendship deck. It was cheesy, but it was cool. And so I finally have a little bit of money by the time we get to college, and I'm able to. Throughout all of high school, I would only ever have like maybe $5, and I can go buy one pack with that, and then just to see what I can fucking make out of that shit.
Yeah, just to even see if
so
you can get anything.
we get to college, and I get my financial reimbursement, which isn't much because I was going to a UC.
Okay.
But I had enough left over after taking care of my food and everything else for the whole trimester to go downtown to a card shop I heard a rumor about. And so I was like, okay, let's go see if this bitch exists. And it did exist. And the guy was like, hey, show me your student ID, 10% off. And I was like, oh, thank you for not taxing us. That's basically all that means.
Yeah.
But it was cool. I got to finally buy some shit and make some new fucking cards and everything. And to my great surprise, he had the Seal of Orichalcos. He did not have the box.
Okay.
Because people bought out all the boxes and he didn't stock up anymore. But he had leftover Seals of Orichalcos. And I was like, you, my friend, are good to me.
Not only is it 10% off not paying taxes,
And so,
but no,
I make just like, what the fuck? Okay. Just like Goner did, I made a new deck that I can throw the Seal of Orichalcos into. And I come to my friends who this is in the city of Santa Cruz, California. I had taught these people how to play Yu-Gi-Oh! Because they played it when they were very, very little. They wanted to get into
like
it.
This, I'm about to hear
And I really fucking built them up and everything. And I was like, hey, I took it one step at a time. I was like, okay, we're gonna start with this. Now we're gonna go up to this until they were able to just go off and buy decks on their own and fucking learn their own shit.
Yeah.
So these were the people that I was playing with on at least a weekly basis, and they got really into tag team duels because they're like, hey, this is kind of really fucking cool having this 2-on-2 format type of thing. And I pull up and I say, okay, partner, go ahead, do your thing. You guys do your thing, and they get to my turn, right? And I'm like, I'm just gonna play this. They're like, that's fucking weak, man. What are you doing? And I was like, oh, is it now? And just like in the fucking show, it was in my opening hand. I was like, well, I guess I should play the Seal of Orichalcos. And one dude knew the fucking show. He flipped the fuck out because he never knew that they printed it. He left the room. The other two are like, where did Kyle go? And why is he scared? And I was like, why don't you read the card to find out why he's scared? And they're like, this text is so tiny. I was like, they had to make it tiny so they can fit all the bullshit effects on there. And so with that single spell card, my partner and I fucking blew them back.
Jesus, no mercy.
And so I was like, hey man, I gave them a website. And they were like, all right, what's this for? This is cool and all. And I was like, this is the Yu-Gi-Oh! Stock market, a.k.a. the cheapest place you can get yourself a copy of the Seal of Orichalcos.
Oh, fuck.
And so I continued Goner's legacy in the city of Santa Cruz, in a nerd's giant fucking dorm room where people play D&D. I continued the legacy of the Seal of Orichalcos cult.
Little do you know, it's still going on now. It's like
I wouldn't doubt it.
Fucking group of 1 million people now, and it's like just the card sitting on like a fucking frame in a dark room.
Right.
They're all wearing a hoodie and a drug dealer's backpack, and they're all like, oh.
And so now, so my cult, right? My own personal one. I had a big habit taking cards nobody ever heard of, that nobody liked to play, or even cards people were like, hey, this is fucking retarded, no one can use this shit, and making them good.
Okay.
And so one of these very low-key cards, I hope I can make this shit. You have to love human beings.
Yeah. Without them, we wouldn't be here.
Yeah, I suppose you have a point. I had a trap card that said, hey, when you attack, for every single monster on your field, all of your monsters permanently lose 800 fucking attack points. Wow. So just by having 2 monsters on their field, the average monster goes to 0 for the rest of the duel. And this was a little trap card called Wall of Disruption. And I had lots of copies of it because I had this... Wait, hang on. I need to fucking do this shit. I always do this before I go into the gym. Hey! Okay, let's go. And so I whipped that out in another fucking duel because I was feeling really fucking cocky. I was talking a lot of shit. So I was like, man, I could beat all fucking 3 of you at the same time. And I was like, matter of fact, here's how we'll do it.
It's like an anime opening right here.
I'll go first. all 3 of you go consecutively after me, you can all attack me. And then I go again. I'm only getting 1 fucking turn per round. So I go. I was lucky enough to get a little bit of stall set up. They all take their turn. I stall them all out. It gets to my turn again. I was like, perfect. 1 card down. Your move. And they're like, dude, this is going to be a fucking cakewalk. And since they all took a turn already, they already had a full board of monsters set up. So dude number 1 comes around. He gets through the trap cards I was using to stall them. I was like, okay, cool, good shit. Dude number 2 comes around. He gets through most of my monsters. I was like, all right, good shit. Dude number 3 is like, I'm going to end your whole fucking career, right? I'm going to swing directly with fucking everything. You'll be left with almost nothing, like no points left. And I was like, see, that's where you're wrong. Wall of disruption. And I'm like, you have 3 monsters. You have 4 monsters. You have 3 monsters. Everything you guys have goes to 0 forever. And they had their ace monsters on the field, so they're like, what the fuck do we do? I've never heard of this fucking card. And I was like, you're welcome. And so from then on out,
you need to thank me.
I would find more people who play Yu-Gi-Oh! And I would give them my extra copies of Wall of Disruption. And so every duelist that I met in the city of Santa Cruz had 1 to 2 copies of it in their deck. And it became the most annoying fucking card any of us had ever encountered. Because you see it so goddamn much all over the fucking city. And so it got to the point where people were like, you probably have that trap card.
Like, I know exactly where you got it from, too.
And it made me happy because the next time I did a 3-on-1, all 3 of them used it on me in a row. And I was like, I'm fucking proud of you guys. I'll take this loss gladly.
Your eye.
It was a very emotional moment for me, but I really fucked with it.
You're like, I'm so proud.
That was the time I started a Yu-Gi-Oh cult. Shout out to Gunner. Have you ever had a hentai?
Started with a hentai?
Or a harem. A harem.
Oh, I was about to say, have you ever had a hentai? I was like, I don't even know how you get a hentai. I know of hentai, but like, I don't know how you get a hentai.
My bad. Have you ever had a harem?
Have I ever had a harem? No, I have not.
On any scale, like not a fucking like.
I've had the maximum I've had is probably about like 3 girls.
That's impressive.
Just 3.
That's really impressive.
Well, they all knew each other too, so it wasn't like me trying to sneak around. It was more of like.
That's actually very relaxing and reassuring.
Yeah, it really is, because it's like I don't have to worry about them fucking running into each other.
They're just like, hey, whose turn is it this week?
Pretty much. I mean, they were all down to do it.
That's fucking cool.
Because
How did that come about?
They just kind of approached me at school.
Oh, like all of them?
Yeah.
Oh,
because they all knew each other. They were all friends. They were all part of I think they were part of a swim club or something.
So I'm the Monday pussy. She's the Wednesday pussy.
Yeah, I know. At first, I thought they were fucking with me. Because
that
doesn't. Because at first I didn't take it serious. I just laughed and I was like, "Oh yeah, okay." Because that just kind of seems like a fucking trap at first. Like, that just seems like they're gonna do something.
Right, you're gonna wake up in a bathtub full of ice with your kidney missing.
Pretty much, yeah. But then I was like, you know what? Fuck it. What do I got to lose? So I went along with it.
Besides my kidney.
Yeah, pretty much. And then from there, just.
What the fuck?
Yeah, but I mean, I think that's like the closest I've ever gotten to it. Just 3. Which is, I mean, a lot of people think would probably be fun, but it's not. It's really not at all.
What? It was a lot of. Were they all high maintenance?
They weren't all high maintenance. It was just like, you really have to give attention to all 3 of them. But it's like, onto the scale of like.
A regular girlfriend.
Yeah.
Okay.
Pretty much.
Jesus Christ.
So it was like, it's like the harem, but you're dating them.
Right.
Instead of them just being like.
You don't happen to have their numbers or anything?
I do not.
Fuck.
This was back in like high school. Actually,
damn,
you know what?
sucks.
I have my old phone from high school. I probably do.
Oh shit. Okay. I like your wallpaper. Was that Was that a child's drawing of Super Saiyan Goku and Broly?
Broly,
That's
yeah.
fucking cool. I
And then
how he drew
Goku
the
blowing
nipples.
Broly.
I like how his nipples are like little squares. And
I
then
like
a
that
dot.
his knee is just fucking.
That's a cool ass fucking.
Yeah,
Goddamn.
we were gonna go watch Dragon Ball, the
Yeah.
Super movie, and I was like, draw me a picture.
That's right. Before our break ends, we need to fucking film our intro. We're just
Oh God!
We're just gonna sit here in silence.
The whole fucking like. I was trying so hard.
Oh fuck! No, okay. I thought I ripped my pants. That's gonna be a great intro.
I was trying so hard not to laugh. I was like, don't laugh, don't laugh. Right when you did this, I was like, don't fucking laugh. Don't laugh,
I was telling myself the same
Don't
thing
laugh.
the whole
That's-
goddamn time.
So I didn't want to take a sip because I was like, I'm gonna fucking laugh if I do.
Fucking awesome. All right, well,
God damn.
I have to be very quick about it because we go back in about 3.5. But
Oh no. What's the topic for next podcast?
True. Okay.
Swords.
Yes.
Swords.
Our topic for the next podcast will be swords.
Oh shit. That's
Real
actually a pretty good
quick
topic.
for me, I don't know if I would call it a fucking harem, but for a good while I had women in different countries.
Oh shit. Like knew them or?
Yeah.
Okay.
Knew them. They were all over me. They were like really fucking into me. They were like just really thirsty.
Oh okay.
And different ages. I was 18 when I successfully developed my harem.
Oh, okay.
I had
Successfully. Like
one-
it's failed multiple times. To tell you truth.
Actually, yeah, once or twice it's failed. But I was 18, first year of college, and one a year older than me from South Africa, one in her mid-20s from the Philippines, and another one from the Philippines who was 4 years older than me,
Okay.
and then one about 12 years older from Australia. And she was awesome because she was a big titty diamond dealer.
Oh really?
Yes, it was fucking amazing.
Some bitch.
Yeah.
That's
And I wasn't even
in
like
Australia too.
that one. I wasn't even like really flirting with her or anything. We were having a casual conversation, and I was asking her about her job. And midway through, she was after teaching me a bunch of stuff about diamonds. She was like, "Yeah, hey, so do you want some fucking titties?"
Obviously, I'm not gonna say no.
We'll see you guys next time. Thank you so much for tuning in. Bye.
Who would say no?